Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're going to take a look at question number 13. It says Nima purchases a gallon of milk for $3 and some tomatoes for $2 per pound from a grocery store. Which equation represents the relationship between the number of pounds P of tomatoes purchased and the total amount A Nima spent at the grocery store? One of the things that's really helpful to figure out first is you have to identify what's the independent variable and what's the dependent variable. The two letters that we're talking about, they're giving us P for pounds and A for the total amount spent. So we have to ask ourselves, does the amount that you spend depend on how many pounds of tomatoes you buy? Or is it this way? Do the pounds of tomatoes you buy depend on the amount spent? So give that some thought. And after a little bit of thinking, I think most people are going to realize that the amount that you spend depends on how many pounds of tomatoes you buy. And when we think about how many pounds of tomatoes you might consider buying, and we just think of some hypothetical values, you might buy 1 pound of tomatoes, you might buy 2 pounds of tomatoes, you might buy 3. So let's think about the information again in the problem. We know that if she buys 1 pound of tomatoes, that's going to be $2. But what if she buys 2 pounds of tomatoes? Wouldn't we have to multiply 2 times 2, which would be 4, and then we would have to add in the milk because the milk is an additional thing that's being purchased? And if she buys 3 pounds of tomatoes, wouldn't we be multiplying 3 times 2 and then adding in the 6 to get the total amount? So my question to you is, instead of it being a 1, a 2, or a 3, how do I show 2 being multiplied with not one of these numbers, but rather with P? How do I show that? How do I show 2 being multiplied with this? And what's the equation that matches it? So be careful, because you have a couple there that you should be able to eliminate, because remember, this is the dependent variable. Not A is the dependent variable, not P. So here they're showing P as the dependent variable. Here they're showing P as the dependent variable. So that would not be correct. That eliminates those two choices. So you're looking at either choice B or choice D as a potential answer. So to figure out which one it is, you just got to figure out how to show $2 being multiplied with whatever P is and figure out what that looks like. All right, good luck finishing that up.